Hi, my name is Cel, and I'm your host for the SweatNet Be Amazing podcast, where we share stories of amazing women who live in our communities. My hope is that you will feel encouraged and inspired after listening to each episode. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Be Amazing podcast here on SweatNet. I'm your host, Cel, and I'm so excited that you have joined me today for another inspiring conversation. My next guest is Erica Davis. She is the CEO and founder of Imperfect Mommers, a woman's workout apparel and athleisure brand. Erica is a Charleston, South Carolina native who resides in Charlotte, North Carolina with her family. She started Imperfect Mommers in 2018 because she found the need to provide women with great quality workout apparel at affordable prices. And let me just say, her clothing is bomb. I have her jogger set, I have several pair of pants, I have sports bras, and I freaking love it. I've already shared some of this on my Instagram, and I will continue to do so because I am a fan of her clothes. So if you don't know about her and you haven't seen her clothing yet, you need to go to Imperfect Mommers on IG, and then also go to her website so that you can purchase something, because the clothes are amazing. The material is awesome. They hug you. They hug your shape. I just can't say enough about it. I just absolutely love it. But aside from that, she is a woman of strength. We talk about her business and how she's built it over the past 6 years. And then we also talk about the health challenge that she faced in the middle of all of this. And she is just a really strong woman. So I cannot wait for you to listen to this inspiring conversation with Erica. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. And today my guest is Erica Davis. I'm so excited to have her here. And we actually met recently at a No Women event in Charlotte. It was called Focused. It was in August. For those of you that don't know No Women, you can go check it out. But it's really about women who are entrepreneurs, women who are out to do amazing things. So It was a no-brainer once I met you to collaborate, to connect, and to have you on the podcast. So welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. And I really just want to kick things off, but I have to say this first. There's another connection that you and I have that you probably don't know, but I'm a Davis too.
Oh, I know that. Yes.
Yeah, so my maiden name is Davis and my married name is
Nice.
Smart. So
Okay.
so
Hey, sister.
I didn't even think about that till I was typing out your email, and I was like, oh, that's right. We're both from the Davis side. That's pretty
Uh-huh.
amazing.
Yes. Yes.
So tell us a little bit. Before we dive into your story and all that, I would like to set things up. So kind of tell us a little bit about who you are.
Absolutely. So, Erica Davis, I live in Charlotte right now, but I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm born and raised there. I did leave when I was 18 for college. I went to Lander University in upstate South Carolina. And then I also joined the Army. I was in the Army for 8 years. So I'm a veteran. And I've just been, working in corporate America since I got out of the Army. I have a son who's 7 years old, Chandler Davis. And then my husband, Laval. We've been married for over 6 years now. So outside of that, it's just I'm very close to my family, very close to my good friends, and I run my business and I work.
That's awesome. I'm so fascinated right now because I did not know about the Army thing. So,
Mhm.
thank you for all that you've done for
Absolutely.
serving for our country and for all of us. And um, then not knowing that you're from Charleston and I know you're in Charlotte, but Charleston, hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have to say this is really silly, but I'm such a huge fan of Southern Charm. So
Oh yeah.
so you lived in Charleston, you get
Yes.
that whole vibe that they bring.
Yes.
Uh, but the other connection and the other piece that we have that we've connected on is fitness. That's
Mhm.
been a huge conversation piece for us because of
Mhm.
what you have created. But I
Yes.
want to know, before we dive into what has come out of that passion, have you always been into health and fitness, or is this just something that has recently just been this, like something that's just kind of all of a sudden, you just connect with it and it was just an instant thing?
Yeah, so when I was in college, I actually was a cheerleader for my college, and I did a little bit of fitness just to get by. And then also when I joined the military, I did what I needed to do to get by. It wasn't until I had my son When I had my son, I realized that my body wasn't snapping back as quickly as media may make it seem. And so I really started paying attention to what I eat and started being more active and working out more. So I would say about 2016, 2017 is when I really started paying attention, and I was hooked ever since. So it's never too late, it's never too late to get into it. I mean, you're going to love it, and you're going to connect with it right away.
That's awesome. I think that's for a lot of women. We have bodies that we are just like, especially when we have a baby, it takes you 9 months to get that pregnant. It takes you that much or longer to get back to the
Mhm.
body or get to a body that you're comfortable in. So I think when we have these mindsets of trying to like snap back or jump back in quick, like there
Mhm.
has to be room for grace. Like you have to give
Mhm.
yourself grace and love yourself at where you're at and appreciate your body. And that's one thing that we've really been talking about. Leah and I've been having these conversations on our girl chat episodes about like embrace your body, like appreciate all that it can do as a woman.
Yes,
And so I
absolutely.
really love everything that you're saying.
Mhm.
And this is what has inspired your brand, a fitness
Yes.
apparel brand, which y'all, I'm wearing the clothes right now and they're bomb.
Yes.
So, and it's called Imperfect Mommers.
Mhm.
Am I saying that correctly?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so is that being a mom? Is that what inspired it, or what triggered it for you for to create like this clothing apparel brand?
So when I started getting into working out more, what I started running into is the fact that, for one, I wanted to show women. I had a page that I was just showing my journey and working out and everything, and showing women, to your point earlier, give yourself grace. You're not going to snap back as quickly as you might think. It takes time. And so it started being something that I wanted to do more often, encouraging women. All women didn't have to be mothers. And then what started me wanting to create a brand for women to have fitness apparel was I would order apparel from, you know, in different sites and everything, and it would be like the inexpensive ones where the material was so cheap, so thin. In the wintertime, I was freezing because the leggings were so thin. And then when I started putting more money into it, the expensive, I mean, the better material was so expensive. And I'm like, there has to be an in between. Well, I couldn't find an in between. So I decided to create an in between. I decided to provide great quality apparel for women at affordable prices. And so that's what came of Imperfect Mommers.
Which I absolutely love because you have created something out of your own necessity. And that's another thing about entrepreneurism. A lot of times, it's the challenges we experience ourselves that help us
Mhm.
create those things. And that's why,
Yes.
like, the Amazing podcast is so important to me because it creates that space for women to be highlighted and
Mhm.
for a platform where they can share their story. But I want to say about the apparel, like, I love it. Like, the fit is on point, the fabric is on point. I've
Thank
had
you.
on your jogger set, I have on your leggings and bra right now, which I will showcase later on my Instagram. But like I am truly I'm a huge fan right now. Like I just
Thank
because I
you.
can tell like the quality of it and the details of it. Even how it hugs your butt, y'all. Like these
Mhm.
pants, they hug you in all the right places.
Yes.
So I just want to say right now, from somebody that is extremely picky when it comes to fitness apparel, and I am probably like one of the pickiest because I live in leggings every day. Like that's what I'm in every day. I
Yeah.
do like I'm very picky on that. So you've done an incredible
Mhm.
job, and your apparel like
Thank
speaks
you.
for it, and it showcases like just like your. I feel like it showcases your heart as far as like you can tell that there's been time and effort put in. Um,
Absolutely.
but I also know with creating this and putting this out there, this has been out there for 6 years. What have some of the challenges been? Like, I'm sure there have been challenges. Did you know how to start a business? Did you know how to make clothes?
No,
Like,
absolutely not. So the actual me starting to motivate women on my social media platform to work out was about 6 years, but Imperfect Mommers started in 2018. And it was chaotic that first year because I wasted a lot of money not knowing what I was getting myself into. wasting on samples and things like that, or not getting samples and just ordering things flat out. And it was so much money wasted that first year. So what I did was I actually stopped the end of 2018. And I was like, I have to research. I have to look up everything. If I want this to be a successful business, I really need to understand what I'm getting myself into. So, like mid to end of 2018, I stepped back from it. I did research. I did a business plan. I ordered samples and actually work with providers or manufacturers to understand what I'm getting and material that I would love, that I like to work out in, and I know other women would. And then I did a soft relaunch in November of 2019. And ever since then, my business has been going up since I stopped and did it. So it's all about doing your research and understanding what you're getting into.
Well, and I love what you just said about like the step back, like taking a step back and resetting. And like, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing at all. You have to. Sometimes we have these big ideas and we get so excited and we get so passionate about it and we want to react right away. And sometimes doing that, we run into a wall and we don't have everything planned out like we thought we did. So it's okay to say, okay, this idea is still good, but let me figure out everything step by step before I just throw a lot into this and run into a lot of issues. It's going to cost me in the end.
Do you have like maybe 2 or 3 tips you could give that you feel like would be important to share with somebody that might
Yeah.
be in that space right now, whether they've already like they do what you said, they got so
Yeah.
excited and
Hmm.
they jumped out and then all of a sudden they're out there, they're freaking, or
Yeah.
somebody that's in the middle of their reset. What tips do you
Absolutely.
have?
So, the number one thing is I would say do your research. Whatever field you're getting into, just do your research and understand your competition, understand what other women like. I've done surveys and everything. Like just do your research and get a clear understanding of the business, of the field, the industry that you are about to get into so you can better understand how you can help that industry and what that industry needs from you. That's number one. The second thing I would say, because we go a mile a minute, like I mean, we just or just really, really fast, we always want to get things going. I would say write things down because just the other day, I was thinking about something that would be a great idea. And I was like, okay, I'll write it down in a second. And like 4 hours later, I'm like trying to get stuff done. And I was like, what did I say I was going to do? And I lost it. And it's like, you have to write things down because you have so much going on. I'm sure this is for all business owners. We have so much going on. You have to write down your ideas as you go. I don't care if it's on a sticky note somewhere, write it down to make sure that you remember your ideas and have it all listed out.
That's awesome. And I agree with both of those things. I think it's very true. I think when you write it down, you're able to retain it.
Hmm.
Whether it's in your phone, like making a notes page or a
Hmm.
journal or even an email. I send
Yeah.
myself email.
Yes,
I put in the subject
absolutely.
line. And that way it triggers it. Like I'll see it like,
Yep.
oh yeah, I remind myself of that.
Hmm.
Um, I want to kind of I really again am excited about what you're doing as a business, what you are accomplishing already, and then where do you have like a desire or do you have a goal in mind of where you want this to actually go?
So right now, like short-term goal, I really want to grow my like e-commerce because I'm doing really good. And I just want to, from a marketing standpoint, get my brand name out there more. So short term, I would like to do more interviews, do more events, meet more people to get the brand name out there because word of mouth, it speaks so much more than a lot of other things. Like just you getting your brand name out there and people talking about it. That's what I really want to do short term. Eventually, I mean, I love selling my apparel online, but I would like to partner with a store or something like that to get my brand in a store. That's further down the line. But short term, I really want to get my brand name out there. I really want everybody talking about imperfect mommers. When I look at some of my competitors, when I do my research, um, it's some of them that they're just as young as 7 years old, but they're blowing up. And it's like, how do they do that? Word of mouth,
Hmm.
So I really want to get my name out there.
Well, I think you're doing a great job. I think,
Thank
we've
you.
talked about connection, and it's just about connecting with people and taking time to put yourself out there. And you're doing that.
Yeah.
And we are so excited. I'm so excited to help you in any way I can. And
Thank you, Sil.
ladies, I'm telling you right now, you need to go to Imperfect Mommers and
Yes.
look right now at the apparel. Again, I'm going to be posting things through, I'll be posting every time I put a Imperfect Mommers outfit on,
Listen.
and sharing it because I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
I appreciate that so much. And there's so many things coming. We just had a photo shoot last weekend. I mean, Seal, I have so many things for you to try out. I mean, it's so
Yay.
many things coming. I know that, my customers and future customers gonna love it. And it's so affordable. I can't say that enough. So affordable.
And that's a really important thing is I think when people realize like it's affordable but freaking quality. And
Yes.
those are two things that I think are important, and especially
Hmm.
to women. And when they're, I know women that have tons of leggings and tons of all, spent all this money on outfits,
Hmm.
and you can spend all that money on expensive lines and not have as good quality or as good a fit.
Right.
Same thing if it's inexpensive. So to kind of hit that middle ground and have something
Yeah.
that's quality, like that's amazing. So
Thank you.
I
I
am,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
So I really like, I'm excited about having connected with you, and then being able to support and share about what you're doing.
Thank
I
you.
do I do want to kind of switch gears
Okay.
because we barely touched on this when we were in person,
Hmm.
but you have actually overcome a health issue at some point, and I wanted to make sure that we touched on that because
Yeah.
not knowing like that you'd been in the army, not knowing like some of the other things that, being an entrepreneur and being challenged, you've also been challenged in your health. So I really
Yes.
want to take a second and have you share about that.
Yeah, so I am a cancer survivor. I had in 2020, as if 2020 wasn't bad enough, 2 days before 2020 ended, I had a doctor's appointment. And this, I just want to say this really quick, Seal. I know women, as women, we go to our women doctor, we go to our gynecologist and all that stuff. But it's so important to get your annual physicals. Actually, go in and get your physicals. I in 2019 we bought a new house, and when we moved to another side of town, it took me a while to find a good like internal medicine physician. So I skipped a year of my physical. Never done that since I've been an adult. And so in 2020, I was like, oh, I finally got my appointment. It's in December. And when I went to my get my physical, she found a lump in my neck. And I was so mad at myself because I was like, Erica, you never miss an annual physical. If you had went to your physical and found a doctor a year earlier, you probably would have caught it earlier. So I was mad at myself. But what I was happy about is that she caught it pretty early. She sent me to get an ultrasound and sent me, and I had to end up getting a biopsy. So anyway, long story short, I found out before the 2020 ended that I had stage 2 thyroid cancer.
Wow.
And yeah, so I was like, do I need these thyroids? Take them out. Do I need, what does the lymph node do? Like, take half of that out, you know? So I had surgery in January, very successful. They removed both thyroids and they did take part of my lymph node. And they've been just monitoring me ever since. And it's been successful. They had some scares to say I might lose my voice and all that stuff, and none of that happened. I had a great doctor, and yeah, it'll be 2 years, the end of January, that I have been cancer free.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
And this is the part like this is what I'm so intrigued by when talking to women, because there's always a story behind a story behind a story. And I knew there was a lot to who you were as a person, and I knew when we stood, because we stood in the parking lot, we were talking,
Yeah.
and you just kind of breezed past that, and
Yeah.
I was like, wait, hold up, what? Like, wait, back it up. Can we please talk about that?
Right.
Um, yeah, and that wasn't, and I was thinking it was even maybe like 6 years ago. No, this was just this was
Hmm.
just you coming, like getting over this the past 2 years. So
Yes.
yeah, what a huge challenge to overcome. And
Hmm.
I'm sure that there were moments of discouragement,
Oh
or
yeah.
moments of fear. Like,
Hmm.
how did you handle that when you had those waves of like that? What was your go-to for that?
I cried so much. So I want to say, like, one of my doctors, she's very straightforward, and I so just like going in and I'm glad she was, because like she's like, here's the deal, this is what you need to do, and which was helpful to me. But when I walked out of her office, I was breaking down, like, because I was like, what am I going to do? I have this young child, I have my family, my mom. Like, I didn't tell my mom for like a couple of days because she would freak out. So one of the things that I did was I didn't tell a lot of people, but who I did tell were people who are, of faith, and just didn't think anything negative. They just talked to me, and I had a close friend, Crystal, or my cousin Jimmy. I would talk to them every day, and they just spoke positivity, and that kept me going. Because if I said something to another family member, they're like, "Oh goodness, oh that's so," and you don't want that. So just I did go through a rough patch where I cried all the time, but when I talked to my cousin and my friend, they just brought me to a happier place. Even my husband said, we're gonna push this through. Like, so it was tough, but just having those good people in my corner, keeping me positive, that's how I pushed through it.
That's awesome. I think that's so important in having, like, you need to have people in your life that are your small circle that you can
Mm-hmm.
say things to, and it be a safe space and you feel
Mm-hmm.
encouraged and supported. So I'm so
Absolutely.
glad, because I think that we do need to lean into that. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have that, finding that
Yeah.
for all parts of, I mean, for all parts of your life, whether it's,
Mm-hmm.
a group of girlfriends or people from a church or family members or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
leaning into your community. Like, community to me is everything,
Absolutely.
and we need each other. So I think that's
Mm-hmm.
such a perfect example of the support from your community helped, fuel your fire to press through and make it on the other side of it. So what an amazing, like, just an amazing journey you've been on.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
wow, you're here and you're doing this imperfect mommers, and I love
Yes.
it. So going back to kind of the fitness health space, talk to me about, what do you have as far as do you have a favorite workout?
So I would say my favorite is, I love leg day or lower body. I know a lot of people do not like leg day, but I love lower body workouts. I'm going to tell you right now, I was a pancake growing up. So I had no rump roast. So I had to like work out to grow. And now I'm like, oh, now I'm addicted to it. You know what I mean? Keeping that thing in order. So, so lower body's my favorite. And I work out 5 or 6 days a week. So yeah, 2 of the days I do like either focus on all lower body, or I'll focus on a section of the lower body, like hamstring or quads.
Awesome. Yeah, girl, your booty's on point. I've seen your Instagram posts. I saw the last one. I think there was a video of you, and I was like, darn, that girl's got booty, 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 booty. Which is so inspiring to know, because to know that you were like flat at one point, and there you
Oh
go.
yes.
But it takes work. It's not magic.
Mhm.
It's not
Mhm.
magic.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's awesome. With that said, do you have like is there a favorite song you have on your playlist right now that is like your go-to to get you like psyched for the gym? Or is it a quote? Like, is there something like
Right
that for you?
now, a video that I watch, that I don't know why I run so hard when I watch this video, is Tomorrow 2 by, I don't know if you ever heard of Glorilla. She's a rapper, and Cardi B. I watch that video and I run like hard, like I'm still in the army. That's how hard I run. Like I'm trying to
Wow.
pass a PT test. But yeah, I love
Wow.
that video, and I think they got like 20 million or something views on YouTube. I always joke and say I'm probably 19 million of those.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that now, because I'm always looking for like what's like, I always have like one song or one thing I'm leaning into at the moment that just kind of
Uh-huh.
pushes me. So I'm gonna have
Yes,
to watch that now. What's it, say
absolutely.
it again? What's it called again?
It's called Tomorrow 2. It's
Okay.
pretty ratchet, but it's
Okay.
it's good.
Hey,
Yeah, and
girl,
it's
whatever. Like, if it gets you motivated and moving, like, I'm all in.
yes, yeah, yep.
Well, this has just been, for me, this has been such a awesome conversation. And I always end the podcast with asking one last question. And the last question I would ask you is if there's anything else on your heart that you want to share with the listeners.
I would say The only thing, just kind of with my experience and everything, I would say over the last 6 years, I would say a couple of things. One thing is make sure you get in your health check every year. Make sure you're doing everything for yourself. Self-care is very important. Don't skip a year. The other thing I would say is to the women out there, whether you had a baby or you didn't, you gained some weight or whatever the case may be, it takes time. Do not let social media make you think that you're going to snap back in a week. I mean, unless you have the genes, some of us don't. And so take your time. Don't psych yourself out. Love yourself. Seriously. Listen to some Lizzo.
There you go. Love that. Well, tell everyone where they can find your apparel and how they can
Absolutely.
connect with you.
Yes. So you can find my Imperfect Mommers Instagram page is at Imperfect Mommers, IMPERFECT, and it's MOMMERS, Imperfect Mommers on Instagram. You can also visit www.imperfectmommers.com and shop apparel and athleisure. And then my personal Instagram is I am _Erica D.
Awesome. And we'll put these links too, so you guys will make it easy for
Awesome.
you so you can click and go.
Thank you.
Get your apparel now. And like I said, I'll be posting about what I'm wearing. It's
Yes.
Imperfect Mommers. I am excited, and Leah and I both are excited to have you part of Glow. You're a sponsor for our
Yes.
Glow event coming up. So ladies, if you have not registered for that, you can go to the Eventbrite link. It is in our bio at CP Method. It is also in my personal bio. It's Cel Smart. And both of those are on Instagram. But Erica, thank you so much for,
Thank you.
jumping in. Like, you've been a breath of fresh air. Like, just to be like, I meet you and there's this instant connection. And then we're just like, yeah, let's go. Like, let's do
Yes.
the podcast. Let's collaborate. Let's connect. Like, I'm so excited. So
Yes.
thank you so much again for being on. This has been awesome.
Thank you for everything, Cel. What you're doing for women is amazing. No pun intended.
Well, listen, sister, I will see you soon.
All right. Have a good one. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining me today. If you like the podcast, please like and share this with other women in your life. You can find out more about SweatNet on sweatnet.com or follow them on Instagram at SweatNet and SweatNet Charlotte. You can follow me personally on Instagram at It's Cel Smart. Stay tuned for the next episode of the SweatNet Be Amazing podcast.